Hello, everybody, and welcome back to today's segment. We have Louise Sanders from the Stress Experts joining us for the Know Thyself Enneagram series. How are you, Louise?
I am very good, Tracy. Thanks for having me again.
I am excited. So excited. I'm so excited I can't talk, Louise. I am especially excited for today's segment. Number 8. Do you want to share about the number 8, strengths, weaknesses, what motivates them, and one quick call out before we start? If you're watching this and you're just grabbing this episode, make sure to go back and watch the main segment first. That will help make all of this make sense. So, Louise, let's chat about the number 8.
Yes, Enneagram type 8. This is known as the protector or the challenger. To me, both of those make sense when we look into what the 8 is all about. So they're very self-confident, almost like that self-made independent person. They're decisive, but sometimes that can mean that they're kind of domineering, kind of controlling. But they're a straight talker. They say it like it is. You know where an 8 stands, and you know where you are in regards to the 8. An 8 will let you know. A straight talker. So they're also very resourceful. They know how to get things done. They know where to go. They know how, again, they're that independent person. So but again, they're trying to, because they are so independent, they can kind of be controlling about themselves, about their environment, and people in their lives.
Never.
This doesn't sound familiar. No, not at all.
Doesn't sound familiar at all. I do not relate to the 8. May catch that my personality type is the 8.
Another thing an 8 struggles with is vulnerability. So good for you for admitting.
It took a lot to admit this is my type. That's what I love about this work, truly.
Yeah. And what's nice is by doing this work, you understand the personality types, and then you can not take personality so personally.
Yeah.
No, this isn't you. This is your personality type. Yeah. Right. So again, go watch the first session and we talk about that a little bit. But yeah, going back to an 8, really what they're trying to do is protect themselves. Mm-hmm. So they're not in the same group as the 5, 6, 7. They're in the group of the 8, 9, 1. So really what's driving an 8 is anger. Now, not that they're angry all the time, but they kind of are. Their pattern of anger is almost like it exudes from them. There's like a mist of anger around them. Not that they're not loving people. They love, actually, I've heard that out of all the Enneagram numbers, all the Enneagram types, they are the most loving. They have the biggest heart. The thing is, it's just so armored up. That, and they're trying so hard to protect their heart because their feelings feel vulnerable, emotions feel vulnerable. So you can kind of think of an 8 as almost like the military. Like they've got even in their wording, you can say that they've got troops. It'll rally up the troops. They're the leader of the troops, and they can kind of again, there's that controlling aspect to it, but troops and strategy. You just got to use the strategy and you'll get ahead, or you'll get whatever you want. And they're that they can, part of their weakness, I guess, can be that they can call them the twos, like TOO, like, so too much, too soon, too fast, too long, too late, like, staying out too late, too many, just the twos.
Never too much.
Never. No such thing. You can never have too much. Unless you're saying too much vulnerability, then
boy, that's too much for sure.
So they kind of like deny their fear, deny their vulnerability, deny weakness. So weakness is like the F word to the to the type 8, but also betrayal. So betrayal is it's kind of like that. It really hurts that heart, and so they put up even more armor. But a betrayal for an 8 can be anything. It doesn't have to be like a huge, it doesn't have to be an affair or anything like that. It can be like, you said you were going to unload the dishwasher, and you didn't. That's enough to feel betrayal and create and kind of trigger that anger inside the 8.
Well, and I think I'll speak on behalf of 8s. My word, I try to have my word as gold. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So if people don't respond, here I am defensive. There's the armor coming up. Well, then I should just be quiet. But I think that's probably where that comes from, right?
Yes. And you know, this brings up a point here, like for all types, we all think that everyone sees the world the way we do. So if I think that, you know, I'm a 9, so if you want to know about me, then go to the 9. But, you know, about peace and harmony, I thought before I before I learned this, that everyone was interested in peace and harmony.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, no, like that's not what motivates you, you know, and then you learn about an 8 and it's kind of like, definitely not peace and harmony. I mean, that's not what motivates an 8.
No, we like that if we're healthy, but no.
Yes, but that's not what's driving you. Everyone wants peace, world peace. Everyone wants that, but it's not what's driving an 8. What's really driving that 8 is that protection. They want truth.
Yeah.
It's really they want to become, instead of a military warrior, they want to become a samurai and find that truth, be a warrior for truth. So as they grow, they're not so domineering and intimidating. They soften and they find the truth in life, in people. And if you have an 8 in your life, just, I don't know if it's connected, but if you have an 8 in your life, some people are like, oh my gosh, I can't stand 8s. But if you have a problem in your life, you want an 8 on your side, because they will go to fight for you.
Totally. Yeah.
So they want to protect themselves and their loved ones.
Fiercely. If anybody in my life needs something done or needs something, I think they know to come to me, because I'm there and I've got it, right?
Yes. And a dog on a bone, like you will see it to the end. Yeah. Again, so that, you know, strength, weakness, is it a strength or a weakness? It depends on the situation, because too much, too fast, too long, too many is a weakness. But if you can harness that and put it into a productive, effective area, then your persistence pays off, right? Instead of becoming a destructive anger, it becomes a constructive anger. And when I say anger, it's not like anger is the energy that moves things, that creates change. Now it can be destructive in relationships. You can just imagine that too much, too fast, too long, too soon, too many, how that can feel with a relationship. But if you want change to happen, you know, that strength that keeps pushing, that creates change.
Just so you know, can I add something?
Oh,
I have rebranded anger to passion, just so you know.
Oh, I like it. And that is so true. And that is just amazing how that change of a word now makes that anger more acceptable.
Yeah, because you feel that. And like you said, I always felt that the awareness, sorry to jump in there, Louise, but that's why I love this work. I'm passionate about it. Gave me like football stadium game-changing moments. I have that from the gut reaction, and call it anger, call it passion. It's a little more positive to me. That's how I react. I thought everybody was like that. But then you look around and you're like, wow, they're not behaving correctly for this situation. What is going on?
Oh, correctly. How interesting. So another thing you bring up is an 8. An 8 is very much my way or the highway.
Oh, did I say that?
You didn't say the words, but yes, the right way is the way an 8 does it.
Just so you know, I'm not going to publish this episode.
Everyone, that's a vulnerability speaking.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Good times. Oh, fun. Well, and you know, the great part too, and why we touched on this in earlier segments. My whole reason, Louise, as you know, for doing this series is the last 2 years have put, I'm going to say, everybody through the ringer mentally for whatever reason, variety and the scale of reasons. But I think probably what has been hardest is to experience what each of us have experienced inside and realize, wow, that's how I'm reacting to stress. But equally alarming and probably mind-blowing for people is looking at the ones that we love in society and going, what is going on? Why? We're all somewhat going through the same thing. Not really. We all have different, but we're all going through this and everybody's all over the map. And I think probably a lot of people are going, what? And that's why I wanted to bring this series, because the more we know about ourselves and others, the more we can go, oh, okay, I'm reacting because this. They're reacting because harmony is most important to them, right? Or whatever the case is.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we can all look at the same event and be, triggered by it, but we're all triggered for a different reason.
Totally. And react totally different. And I think that's blown my mind. And I've studied a lot of this stuff, but I think there's a lot of people reeling mentally and trying to figure out and process how loved ones have reacted to the situation, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Strengths, weaknesses, motivates. Did we cover that?
Motivation is really, an 8 wants to impact the world with their strength. They don't want to be weak. It's almost like weakness and vulnerability gets them hurt. So they want to be protective because they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be weak. So they really want to impact the world with their strength. They want the world to see their strength. Not necessarily being seen is not as important for an 8. That was what we were talking about with you, with your session is about being seen. Sorry, that just came to mind.
Exactly it. Yeah.
So it's an 8. It doesn't need to be seen as strong. They just know they're strong.
I don't do it to impress others.
That's right.
That's where the power in having a segment or session with you, pardon me, is if I had looked and done an online test for this, all the traits would have led me to the other one. But the bottom motivation, I learned I don't do stuff to impress others. So then just that one put me over here as an 8. And I might have typed that wrong.
Yeah. Right? I think it was a 3 that we were looking at. A 3 and an 8. Yeah. So the difference is a 3 is they're very independent too.
Yeah.
But again, they're very much concerned with how they're seen. What's their image? And for an 8, no, it's not. I don't really care about how other people see me. This is the way I am. Take it or leave it. Like I said, they're a straight talker. Take it or leave it. My way or the highway.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And then if you're healthy, then you work on that a little bit. And
That's right. That's right.
On my highway.
Exactly. And you know what? One way I've heard this explained, I thought it was quite beautiful, is like an 8 is like a snowplow. So an unhealthy 8 just snow plows people out of the way.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if they drive over them or whatever, just kind of my way.
Yeah.
I'm on this earth and here we go. But a healthier 8 will snowplow the way for people.
Amen. Yeah.
So they use that strength to make way for their people.
Yeah. Amen. I love it. Okay. Strengths, weaknesses, motivation. If people are listening to this and they resonate with this one or not, check out 1 to 9. You'll find yourself in there. But I highly recommend, as I mentioned in this segment, in this conversation, chatting with somebody, because I would have totally typed myself wrong, because the number 3, for the most part, is a lot of who I am. And it was one thing that helped me figure it out. So if individuals are interested in learning this game-changing material, that, by the way, I do not get any income or any benefit from promoting. If you think I'm overly passionate, it's just because this stuff has changed my life. If people want to work with you, learn more, how can they do so?
Yeah, excellent question. So again, like what you said, I really like the dialogue, way of self-discovery. And what's cool, I just want to ask you a question, I guess. When you found out that you were an 8 instead of a 3, did you have the experience of like, okay, so that one thing made a difference and now you found you're an 8? Did all of a sudden like pieces fall together? Like, oh, now that I see I'm an 8, suddenly 3 doesn't even like matter.
Totally.
Like it doesn't make sense. Like 8 for sure is my pattern.
I was going along with 3 and 8 and then going, yeah, 3, because I have a lot of those traits,
Yeah.
loud. And then we sat on, I think, 1 or 2 questions. And I'm like, I don't know. And you're like, okay, well, what's your motivation? And you clarified. And then the next one, okay. And then when I was able to piece it together, read through, go back and look at the 3, the bigger picture of me started to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It's like, oh, because here I would think I'm a 3.
Yeah.
But I don't care to impress people. And I'm not overly butterfly. Like I'm not shy, and I do a show and I go out and do things, but I always thought I'd be a little more butterfly-ish for my personality. But then when you came over here, it's like, oh, okay, that underlying motivation. Now I get it.
Yes. And then everything else falls into place. And
totally.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So yes, if you want to work with us, so you can find out your type. So if you have no idea, like nothing resonates with you at all, if you've gone through all the types and nothing resonates with you, we can work with that too. So yeah, let's talk. So you can find us at thestressexperts.com or info@thestressexperts.com. You can just email us there at info@thestressexperts.com.
Perfect. As always, thank you for your time, Louise. Thank you for bringing this work to individuals. I think the entire world and every human needs this type of work. So I'm so happy to help spread the word to agriculture, to our audiences. So thank you. And you in the audience, thank you for tuning in. If this one resonated with you, great. If not, check out the other 8 and you'll find yourself and connect with Louise. Thanks, guys. See you on the next segment. Bye-bye.
Yeah.